blend in with? Trees, yeah. If Fonzie hid out in a tree and he stood super still, you wouldn't even be able to see him. Would Storm stand out a little bit more in a tree?
No.
Yeah, I mean, she's pretty white on the front. If she was in a tree, you'd be more likely to see her. She's going to be more, when she is in a tree, she's actually inside of it, in little cavities. She likes to stay in holes inside of trees. Yeah, or where else do you think she lives if she's a barn owl?
In a barn.
In a barn, yeah. She'll live in barns occasionally.
What's in the barn?
So, those little things on top of Fonzie's head, what do we think these are?
Ears.
Feathers, ears, or a little bit of both. So if those were his ears, does that mean Storm doesn't have ears? No, Storm definitely still has ears. So whoever said feathers was right. They're just little feathers on Fonzie's head that help him camouflage better in trees. Does anybody have a guess as to where Fonzie's ears are? Do you have a guess? Do you think his ears are like ours, where there's one on one side and one on the other, and they're in the exact same spot? No. Do you think he's got one under his chin and one on top of his head? No. What about one up here and one down here? That's exactly where they are. Yeah, Fonzie's ears and Storm, both of them, they're going to have one that's up higher and then one that's down lower.
Hi, my name is Elise Schuler. I'm the Director of Education at the Raptor Education Group Incorporated, REGI for short. And REGI has been in Antigo, Wisconsin since 1990, and we're a rehabilitation center for any Wisconsin's native birds. And the main thing we do is take care of birds and get them healthy and back out into the wild again where they belong. We care for about 800 birds a year, all shapes and sizes, anything from hummingbirds on up through robins, crows, owls, eagles, and swans. And we have about a 70% release rate, and our favorite part of our job is getting birds back where they belong. And we also do a lot of education, so we take birds like Fonzie here, our great horned owl, out to schools and community events and teach people about raptors and other birds of Wisconsin. Okay, so again, this is Fonzie. He is a great horned owl, and Fonzie, when he was a youngster, fell out of his nest, and someone found him right away and brought him to us right away, which was great. And at REGI, we use a lot of foster parents to raise baby birds that come into us. So Fonzie looked all right. He looked pretty healthy, so he went out with our foster dad, great horned owl. But it turns out that Fonzie, when he fell from that nest, actually got a lot of internal injuries that we weren't able to see right away. So when he started showing signs of those, we brought him indoors and had to start caring for him pretty intensely. And so Fonzie was with us in intensive care for about 2 months. And in that 2-month time, Fonzie ended up imprinting on humans. So it was a choice between having him survive or not, and we decided to care for him and give him that chance, and he ended up imprinting on humans. So imprinting is something that birds do when they're young, where they figure out what kind of bird they are, what kind of animal they are. And Fonzie looked at us and said, well, I must be just like you because you're caring for me. So Fonzie thinks he's a person now, so he's with us permanently. He's about 9 years old now, and hopefully he'll live into his 20s at least with us. The larger the raptor, the longer they live. So he's got a nice long career ahead of him. And great horned owls are some of the most common owls that we have in Wisconsin. Even though they're so large, their camouflage really helps them blend in all sorts of environments. You can probably find one living in your own neighborhood.
Hi, I'm Emily Nissen. This is Storm. She's a European barn owl. They aren't found as common in Wisconsin, unfortunately, due to a loss of habitat, but they are more commonly found in Ohio, Indiana, and more so in Texas. I'm not sure what Storm's story is off the top of my head, if you could explain it, Lily.
I can. So Storm came to us. She was bred at the World Bird Sanctuary down in St. Louis, Missouri for education, because there are places like Wisconsin where you can't find barn owls so much anymore. So we got her so we could still teach about barn owls and their conservation without taking one from the wild in any way. And barn owls are found across the world, and they just look a little different in size depending on where you go. So she's a little smaller than if you were to see a barn owl here in Wisconsin, but otherwise they look identical.
Hi, I'm Natalie Erickson, and this is Otis. Otis is a peregrine falcon. So when he was younger, he was testing out his new falcon abilities, and he actually hit a power line. So you can see that wing on the left doesn't sit quite right compared to the other one. So Otis can't fly as well as we would like him to be able to do in the wild, so we keep him. But peregrine falcons are actually the largest species of falcon that we have in Wisconsin, and they are incredibly fast. The fastest one was clocked at about 240 miles per hour. So they don't always go that fast, and they might be able to go even faster, but the fastest bird on the planet.
All right, this is Benji. He is an American kestrel, and American kestrels are the smallest species of falcon that we have in Wisconsin. Compared to Otis the peregrine, he is much smaller. He's full grown, he's not a baby or anything. And kestrels, compared to peregrines, are able to go about 65 miles an hour in a dive, so they've still got that big speed ability. So Benji here, his story is pretty similar to Fonzie, the great horned owls, where he fell out of the nest when he was little, but instead of someone bringing him to us right away, they decided to keep him as a pet because he was just so cute. And they kept him for a week or two, and the same thing happened. He imprinted on humans. He came into our clinic riding on the shoulder of a little boy, which was adorable, but it was bad news for Benji. So he stays with us because he thinks he's a person too, but he makes a great education bird, both him and Fonzie, because they're very comfortable in front of people.